work that we do, as I said before, where we focus on opportunities for human-robot interaction within financial services, but also for our clients. And so some of the work that we've done so far has been in the retail space, so working with a major institutional client, Stockland, who has it's a property developer. They have shopping centres. We were looking with them at what are the opportunities in shopping centres for robots interacting with people, and what are the challenges does that sort of present, both from a technical perspective and also from a sort of human interaction perspective. And I've spoken just before about some of the sort of technical challenges around physical robots, and some of the sort of expectation gaps and that sort of thing. And when we did that sort of collaborative R&D with Stockland and taking Chip, our 1.7 meter tall, 100 kilogram humanoid robot, out to Maryland Shopping Centre in Western Sydney, and having it guiding people around, having it handing out samples of products, and sort of trying to get an understanding of what are the most effective communication strategies for a robot like Chip to interact and engage with people in a retail environment and persuade them to stop what they're doing and to do something else. There are technical challenges around speech recognition, technical challenges around Wi-Fi connectivity, as I said before. But the main thing is around sort of the social acceptance of these things within a public space at this stage. So there's this, as I said, there's this expectation gap, but there's also not an ability at the moment to, or there's not a readiness for people who are building these things to consider not just artificial intelligence, but also sort of creating a form of social intelligence. So giving artificially intelligent entities like social robots the ability to understand the context in which they exist, understand who are they speaking to, and therefore understand how they should be speaking to that person, what sort of information or data can I be sort of exposing to that person, how should I be interacting with them, etc., etc. So acting in a socially acceptable way and complying to social norms and cultural norms is something that's really important for these things that we're starting to see as sort of social entities and engage on a social level with them. So a very sort of silly example, but an example nonetheless, is, so let's say we had an artificially intelligent social robot in my house, and you were all over at my house, and we were sort of hanging out, and we got a bit hungry, and we wanted to go for Thai food. So we asked the social robot. This could be an Amazon Echo, it could be a Google Home, because they're sort of the first iterations of these things at this stage. We want to go to get some Thai food, where should we go? And it says, well, there are sort of two options nearby. We've got Thai Long 1 and Home Thai. Which would you like? Well, let's go to Home Thai, we'll book that. Okay, great, let's book that. Easy, done, right? But then let's say it's a slightly different topic of conversation around, and I realize, again, we're all hanging out at my place with my social robot, and I realize, oh, I forgot to tell my girlfriend something really important. So I say to my Amazon Echo or my Pepper robot or whatever, can you please get in contact with my girlfriend? I need to tell her something really important. And it says, well, I've actually found two girlfriends in my database, you know, Jenny and Frederica or whatever. Which one would you like to get in contact with? So it's exactly the same response on behalf of the AI, and a totally rational and legitimate response, given that, you know, I'm a bit of a bastard and I have two girlfriends or whatever. But given the social acceptance of that's socially acceptable to have multiple restaurants, not socially acceptable to have multiple girlfriends, and particularly in the company of other people, there needs to be sort of this social intelligence built into these things. So we need to be able to, for these entities to exist in social scenarios like home environments or even retail environments, anything like that, we need to be able to give them, and they need to have a sort of social intelligence or an understanding of social norms and what is and is not acceptable. Until that point, that's a real challenge for consumer widespread consumer acceptance of a technology that we interact with on a really sort of emotional and social level.